What the hell's happening? Okay. OBS, the hell's the problem with you? What even is going on? Okay, so OBS is back online. I think. It's not Twitch mobile, it's me. I'm the one having the problem somehow. Twitch keeps losing connection, or my stream to Twitch keeps losing connection. Okay, let's try this again. And okay, OBS is doing its thing. Honestly, I think at this point, what's happening is that because I'm still running Windows 10, Microsoft is specifically screwing with me to try and get me to upgrade to Windows 11. Because I imagine if I were to look up what's going on, they'd be like, you should upgrade to Windows 11 so you stop having these problems. At least that's the conspiracy theorist in me. Okay, so you were having it. I don't know what's going on anymore. There's something that has been happening lately. Yeah, I know I have until October because that's what Microsoft says I have. But let's be realistic here. This is Microsoft. They don't give a fuck. And honestly, I have no interest in Windows 11. I think Windows 11 is the worst direction for them to go in with an operating system. And it's going to wind up being a lot like Windows 8 was. Or at least it should be like the Windows 8 fiasco. Okay, now, there we go. All right. Not strong or I'm not wrong. I mean, I know I'm not strong, but oh no, I didn't have to see Windows 8 from the inside to know that it was a terrible operating system. I knew it was a terrible operating system. Yeah, no worries. I knew it was a terrible operating system from the day that I had to try and teach it to people who had spent the better part of 20 years using Windows 95, 98, XP, and Windows 7. And when I had to try and tell people or teach people this is how Windows works now, that was immediately the moment where I went, this is no longer Windows. And that was the biggest issue that Microsoft has had with their operating system was that it has, and in many cases, keeps losing its original identity. They keep going the route of Apple because of the fact that they feel that's going to be what's best, what everybody wants. The sad reality is that, oh, I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that at all. The sad reality is that at this point in time, companies are trying to remove the ability for users to have a personal identity when it comes to their machinery. And instead, what they're attempting to do is supplant personal identity with hive mind identity. You do this because this is what everybody else is doing. You do this because this is just easier. You take what we give you because there's nothing else that you have the ability to get to. It used to be that we had options. And little by little, oh, absolutely, 10, I won't say it is a work of art, but I will say 10 is definitely a better operating system than 8 and 8.1. However, XP is probably the most perfect version of Windows that has ever existed. 7 is a close second. 7 was really, really good. But XP just worked, especially after Service Pack 2. And then Service Pack 3 just really solidified it as probably one of the best OSs that they've ever come out with. I didn't, I had Windows ME as well, my dad's fault. I didn't have issues with it either. So I don't, I understand why people didn't like it, but I personally didn't have any issues. I didn't have any problems that weren't self-created. Okay. Nice. Yeah, honestly, again, XP really was just sort of the best version of Windows. There was nothing really better than it in terms of operability and user interaction. Don't tell me what I got. There we go. Are incredibly close to my home. I think while that would be an interesting idea on paper, part of the problem with that is that Microsoft probably still has a lot of that old code tied into like Windows 10 and 11, and it would possibly present security risks. I get where you're coming from, and it's not a bad idea. But at the same time, shit. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know. Oh, did? Okay. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really know what to do at this point. Um, shit. I don't have it installed. In all honesty, I'm kind of on the fence with Path of Exile 2 right now. I mean, it's a good game. It's just kind of meh right now. Um, do I have installed at the moment? Hey, Steve, thank you. Let's see. Really don't have a lot of stuff installed at the moment. God, I wish I had. I could totally use some spice. Yeah, honestly, the only other thing that I really have installed at the moment is Diablo 3 that isn't filled with my usual mod setup. That's right, that's empty. Okay. Um, apparently, now that's funny. Okay. What I'm going to do, go grab some water. Some water. I'm going to take a second, kind of figure out what my next steps are going to be. Given the situation we're in, given the fact that now everything is 50 times harder than it originally was supposed to be, might have to change up some of my rules here, such as the no drilling rule. Because with things having shields, with no ship, with dwindling resources, and no ability to just up and attack things, I need to change my tactics. If I do not change my tactics, I will stagnate, and then none of this will be entertaining. So, we're going to change things up a little bit after I go get some water. I shall be back in just a few. Okay, there we go. So, I need a rover. No, I don't. Need a little ship. Come out here. You're getting pressed into service, battery. All right. Go. Okay. Maybe. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Okay, so essentially what I need is a little flyer specifically for collecting, well, finding and collecting some resources. So let's turn that off for now. Let's get that. Oh, steel plate. Go ahead. Rotor lock on. Go sit over there. Let's ditch all this crap. Just get rid of everything. Clean up my bars. Okay. First thing I need, go with passenger seat. Connector. Boy, give me my 3 small tubes. Eh. Hey, what's up, Matt? Oh, we have been making a lot of pollution by way of leaving wreckage everywhere. So far, so good. How's your day going? Let's bring that in there. Studio update. There we go. that will be nice. You know, that's fair. Nothing like a good boss fight to make you appreciate life. All right. That would be add instruction. Okay. Almost there. Yes. Uh. Yeah, that sounds about right. I think that is actually a pretty prime example right there. Okay. So that not thruster, just a regular thruster would be fine. Get some of these done there. Let's do this. We got to make it look at least a little nice here. Let's go ahead. Actually, we can cut this away. Get started. Oh, yeah. It's gonna try and weld that on. All right, what do you need? Metal grids and motors. A lot of motors. I should also be able to do gyroscopes. There. There. you lard need large steel tubes. And I can put the control seat here. Well, put a seat on here. It is not the control seat because take a remote block. Do antenna. Just waiting for buttons. There. Ah. That should be everything I need. Keep this up in the air. Oh, and I need a board protector. Board protector. Now I just need motors. Get rid of field emitters because I don't need them anymore. And I do want a light. Actually, we'll do lights. We'll do that one there, and then one above it. Let's do that. And then okay. Rodeo control. Rodeo antenna. Let's also go ahead our rodeo connector. Okay. So rodeo. Wow. There we go. That shall be the name of this. Control. Rodeo connector. Okay. Awesome. All right. Next up. It's actually kind of a cute little. It almost looks like a swamp boat, which I am a-okay with. Let's put. I know. blast ornaments. Ah, yeah, that'll actually work well. Looks like I need more of those. Go. There. There. Now we have our little legs. That'll be our little landing legs there, so that way, if I need to land, well, I would probably need to. Roll. Let's take all of our thrusters here. There we go. Thrusters. There we go. First thrusters. Okay. Roots. All of you. Off. Nope. You go there. 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 That way I can very easily just disable all of my thrusters and be right forward. Next up, ore detector is probably whacked out at, yeah. We're actually going to drop you down to 12. Don't need it go out that far. However, there is silver and gold that direction. So let's go pick up some silver and gold, shall we? So I am changing the rules because it's my game and I can. Because currently, as it stands, it's boring. Like, I just keep getting my ass handed to me, not getting anything done, running out of parts, and it just isn't getting anywhere. So, change things up a little bit. Get some gold here. Gold. So far away from helps if I have my lights on. Not a must, but it doesn't hurt. This is definitely because if I don't do this, I rage quit. And go ahead and creatively add as many warheads to our setup as possible and watch it all blow up. It will make you feel so much better. Plus, honestly, as much as I enjoy the challenge of trying to do a piracy run, it's not my playstyle. I'm a builder. I like to build cool stuff. I like to build bases. Oh, somebody made it through. Guess what? Still getting banned. You chose. Hey, what's up, old grumpy? Let's get this gold.
Inventory full.
Is it really? I mean, it probably is. She wouldn't lie to me. Let's throw this stuff. Yeah. Also get to test how much weight this thing can actually hold. Let's do one more load of gold, and then we will take this back. Next thing I want to do is look at. Actually, the next thing I'm going to want to do is, since we have gold, I want to look for platinum. And then look at control. Oof. There's some good lift to it. Alright, let's also not go too fast. And there's magnesium and silicon here. I want to grab some of that magnesium so that we have a chance to make more ammunition. One of the things that I would like them to see, and especially now that they have been working out physics in Space Engineers 2, and their unified grid, getting everything to work better like that, I would love for them to do landing gear wheels. I would love to see them try and tackle that. So if you're not quite sure what I'm talking about, think of like an airplane or a jet fighter, where it has a landing gear assembly so that you can land vertically on them, especially if you have a VTOL, a vertical takeoff and landing, or vertical takeoff and landing vehicle. You can land vertically on the landing gear wheels, but if you are putting any sort of momentum on it horizontally, you can roll on them like regular wheels. I would love to see that be something in Space Engineers 2. That would be cool. Because then that opens up a whole new variety of builds. That also means that you would be able to taxi out a vehicle. Instead of having to fly it out all the time. being able to roll a flying ship out of its hangar before taking off would be cool. It also opens up the possibility of aerodynamics and having to have speed before you can take off. It's not a necessary thing, it would just be a cool thing. We're at about 50% full in the cargo container, and this is handling it fairly well. So, we're just getting from point A to point B, doing little mining trips. I think this is actually going to work out fairly well. Damn. Go. And besides, we have this big, beautiful Prototech refinery that we are not using. I'm sorry, but I want to use it, damn it. I went through the effort to steal it from the Factorum. I'm going to use it. Let's see, what do we have? A hot fix for space gears. That's it. Right down already. No, that was at 717. Okay, so there's a hot fix. What does it cover? Yeah. It's the features, but I want the. Blah. Where's the change log? Okay, there we go. 206.32. Fixed to crash when welding a projection block with artificial horizon map. Fixed to crash when populating the join game screen server list. Fixed to crash when merging grids with event controllers acting on merge. That makes sense. Functional. Change small grid hinge to also accept small grid advanced rotor part 3x3, large grid advanced rotor part, and large grid rotor part. Okay, cool. Fixed an issue where the bottom part of the lab experiment C was not airtight. Awesome. Fixed an issue where the floor part of the bridged slope corner base did not have mount points on all sides. Okay. Fixed an issue where the game config file refused to save after leaving the session where voxel and settings were changed. Interesting. Fixed an issue where the scripting mod API did not compile to the ability to resolve list types into memory safe ones. Fixed an issue where the secondary key bindings with a modifier collided with primary key bindings without a modifier. Okay. Fixed an issue where the top part of the lab O2H2 generator was airtight. Okay. Fixed an issue where the warship encounter flew away at max speed without giving a chance to chase it. The warship's like, no, fuck this, I'm out. Let's see. Fixed an issue where the unsafe changes in GPS names and descriptions revert when moving the slider color. Reverted a fix for an issue where the remote Google PCU UI would not count constant stages of blocks as one PCU, or construction stages. Got it. It was displaying wrong info on shared grids. Okay, cool. Hey, Hollows. Okay. doing its refining. Awesome. We got a little bit of gold out of that. Have some platinum, some iron. Okay, cool. So, what I need to do. First of all, that's true. Second of all, let's move this out of the way. This over here. Shut up, turnip. You're not helpful today. Okay. That goes there, there. Production. Let's. Okay. Since I have gold now, I'm probably going to go get some more. We're going to go ahead and see about rebuilding Cruiser. I am not ready to give up on that ship yet. Let's see. Hey, what's up, Lenovo? Awesome. Good to hear. Projector. Blueprint. User. 4. Are very definitely turned the incorrect direction. No. Also, oops, no. Yeah. Well, I think it's based off of the angle you are at when you make the blueprint. How have I benefited from the changes? I have not. So far, all of the changes have ended up in me getting exploded. Forward. looks to be correct. Now, of course, one of the problems I'm going to have is that I have no connection point, and I have no prototech thruster. So, let's see. There we go. That'll act as our welding point. Motors. I need a lot more. Some plates. That material plate. There we go. That, I think, should be what I need. Okay. Get to work. So help me God, I am going to make this ship work. I don't know how, and I don't know how long it's going to take, but I'm going to make this ship work. I do love watching build and repair work, though, on projection. It's AGOD. I don't care which one it is. Whichever one wants to go ahead and volunteer today. I don't care. Alright. That off. And whilst we are waiting, okay. Off. Oh. God bless it. Why would I park myself there? Oh, that's right, because it was out of the way. I'm using Crimson's version. And it's actually remarkably easy. In a second, move this out of the way, and I will show you. There we go. So, with the Crimson version, Bob, one of the options, or a set of the options specifically, if you come down here, is we'll have a show area. And once you enable that, that shows you the area that it will weld in. Then all you have to do is go in, adjust the area dimensions and location. Now it starts out at 1,000 meters cubed, so it's 1,000 by 1,000 by 1,000. So you can shrink that down, which is real nice. And then just augment, get it up off the floor. That way it will keep from being in the way, so to speak. And then the other nice thing is that you get to all the options via build info, build vision. Yes, 1,000. Yeah. Yeah, it's specifically the Crimson BAR. Now, right now, it is no longer being supported because he's currently working on an updated model, or basically he's working on an update for it, for doing build and repair. But it still works. And it works fairly well. Let's see. And the base one, as long as it works, it works. That's the important part. But eventually there just comes a point where you gotta swap out to something else for a little while. Okay, production. Are taking this time. What am I doing? Okay. Yeah, that range, and actually the 1,000 meter range came in real handy when I was working on my 2 kilometer tunnel, because of the fact that with all of that extra range, I only needed like 3 total of them to be able to cover the entire tunnel for building purposes. Alright, we're gonna leave this doing its thing. So that I can go collect some ice. Hopefully this time, break nothing. I am, even though I have changed my rules for this playthrough a little bit, I'm going to try and do as little mining as possible. Want to try and adhere to the spirit of the playthrough, despite the fact that I'm having to alter it to at least get stuff done. So sometimes you have to change things up a little bit for the sake of entertainment, both for myself and for you guys. Although, trust me, I can sit here and spend the next 45 minutes bitching about stuff. I'm really good at that. Working retail taught me that. I am very good about complaining. Honestly, I just like breaking eggs. Fuck the omelet. I mean, don't get me wrong, omelets are good. But I really love breaking eggs. Also, now that I have tools again, I can go ahead and get rid of that wreck over there. Yes. You've got me. I'm sorry. Can't help it. I just like watching money get thrown away, especially in this economy. Who care? No, I'm never really sorry. Honestly, when I was doing writing, especially, see, there she goes. She knows me. But when I was doing writing for role playing purposes, my favorite characters to write for were villains. I loved writing for villains. Partially because with a villain, you really only have a couple of ways to go with the villain, and both of them are fun. The first way is to just ham it the fuck up. Go all in. Exactly. But you just go all in and go. Just have a blast. You know you're the bad guy, so you might as well be the bad guy. The other way is sympathetic villain. Or at least the villain with whom you can almost actually agree. Those are equally fun. Because at some point in time you find yourself going, well, I don't necessarily hate them. I don't like them, but I don't hate them. And those are a lot of fun as well. I actually enjoy that style of villain.
Inventory full.
This is going to be good because the extra parts we're going to get out of this.
Inventory full.
Especially the grids and the steel plates. That's the other thing I'm needing a lot of are steel plates. That was not what I wanted to do, but okay. I meant to hit control, not shift. Oh well. We will just move on and keep grinding stuff down. Hey, some ice. Ice, ice, baby. Once I get the cruiser back up and running again, I'll see about coming out and using it to pick up the batteries that are out here. Bring those back. And that way I can attach them to the base. And we should be able to either siphon power off
Inventory full.
or go ahead and just use them as normal. We have options here.
Inventory full.
Yes, it is. Oh, that's what I'm seeing. What's that? Okay. Ah! You tried to fall on me. Not today. The other thing that we need out of these are motors. We need a lot of motors for thrusters.
Inventory
Irony of
full.
ironies.
Inventory full.
What's that? Yeah, there you go. That's the other thing I should do is I should make a note for inventory full. And I still need to do the Hispanic thrusters. And I'm also, yeah, we'll just write that down. I'm also trying to
Inventory full.
figure out an emote for hemispheric thrusters.
Inventory full.
So we've got some emotes that are planned. I kind of want to get out there.
Inventory
Of course,
full.
it's just a matter of actually doing that. So let's get at least we're getting ice out of this. Right, let's start up our H2 generators. Go. Looks like we'll have one more trip and then we will have more ice. Go. So, timber. Oop. Make sure you get out of the way of stuff that's going to fall. Go. Extra large grid. H2 generator. So many batteries out of this. That's the fun part. Some chunks of armor. And so many batteries. That's the important part here. Is just how many batteries this thing has. It was like, I don't know, 45% batteries is basically how it got built. Yeah. Oh, and stuff could be deposited, so I shall deposit it back here. Go. And then I've got these. Go ahead. Separate those two. Sure. Else here. Smells like it. Awesome. Okay. So, all of that crap. Nope, 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 nope. There we go. I swear. Oh, it is nothing but problems with this. Okay. Fortunately, I should have what I need. Ooh, we almost lost the whole thing. Go. Good enough. You know, with the fine, calm down. With the fact that it keeps tipping over right there. Let's do. No, right. Go. Let's get rid of that one. And hopefully that will help. And what I can do is set your friction, not speed, 0. So that way, if this does tip over, the wheel will essentially just slide across the ground. Okay. Let's. Yep. There we go. All right. That works. Let's take this a little bit slower, shall we? Likes to try and tip over because I think what winds up happening is it gets a little heavy. No. You know, I've tried using the water mod a couple of times. I've never really enjoyed it. I know it's useful and it's fun, and I know people do enjoy it, but me personally, it just never quite fits what I'm after. So unfortunately, I don't use it. I think let's also go ahead and I think stop off for some ice, shall we? Okay. Funny you should mention that. I grew up watching. What was it? BattleTech? No, not BattleTech. Robotech. And then one of the anime that I had gotten heavily into, and one of my favorites, was Macross Plus, which I know is the edited version of Macross something or other. But that I remember as I grew up watching a lot of that. So I am familiar with Macross. Okay. Walk. Pick up some ice. Oh, I was watching an interesting video today before the stream from a YouTube channel called Threat Interactive. There, I'm guessing he, specifically the guy who runs it, is part of a game development studio. But one of the things that he has been breaking down for a while now is how, in a lot of cases, modern game engines are actually one of the leading causes of why games play so terribly. And how the lost art of optimization has actually been damaging the way that a lot of games actually play. The one that he was covering in his latest video was one of my favorite titles, Half-Life Alyx. And specifically what he was talking about was how good the optimization on that game actually is. And specifically because of the fact that it's a VR title, they had to do a lot of really good optimization. They couldn't afford to not optimize. But also, it makes sense why Half-Life Alyx is so well optimized. When you consider the developers at Valve are not only paid incredibly well, like they have some of the highest wages out of all of the gaming industry. But because of that, they've also retained a lot of their old OG crew. The guys who absolutely know how to cast software spells because they're all fucking wizards. All of them. Every last one who works at Valve is some kind of guru, wizard, or otherwise software master. And it's one of those that I think we take for granted sometimes because of the fact that for so long, Valve just does whatever Valve wants. They don't answer to anybody. And sure, they have their fair share of pain in the ass BS that they have to deal with from time to time. Every company does. But for the most part, Valve just exists. And because they continue to just exist, they also continue to just make ridiculous amounts of money. And then every once in a while, they poke their head up and they're like, hey, by the way, we still do actually know how to make games. And then they make a really badass game out of nowhere. And they show the industry why Valve has been an industry leader for like, what, 20 years now? Ooh, we are struggling on that hill. That's okay. Yeah, we can do that. And currently, there are rumors, there have been some potential leaks around Half-Life 3. I think everybody and their mother was a gamer, is absolutely excited at the prospect of Half-Life 3. If there's one thing that Valve has consistently done, it's hard to say, because the biggest problem is that when you look at the current generation of games, hardware, software, etc., the biggest race that's happening, I know, right? But the biggest thing that we're seeing is that it's a constant ping pong between hardware manufacturers such as Nvidia and AMD and software houses like Epic, Unity, and a few of the smaller ones. And I think it's the smaller ones that we should be paying more attention to. A really great example of a really good engine that I don't think gets enough attention and will hopefully get more attention when Death Stranding 2 comes out is the Decima engine. The Decima engine does incredible work. If there's one thing that can be said about the Horizon Dawn or whatever games, is that they are gorgeous. Their landscapes are really well done, and the games generally run fairly well. And Death Stranding, probably one of the most beautiful games I've ever seen. And as much as I dislike giving them this much credit, the Star engine, which used to be the Crisis engine, which used to be Lumberyard, which is now the Star engine that Star Citizen uses, can produce some really pretty stuff. The unfortunate reality, though, is that it's CIG and they don't know how to really do anything anymore, aside from, add another ship that we can sell. But there are aspects of these other smaller, lesser known engines, lesser utilized engines, that I think make them better overall than the two mainstreams, Unity and Unreal. Unreal's issue is that it is, unfortunately, it's basically become the asset flipper wet dream, if you will. So much. Oh, you got all those thrusters done. Okay. Oh. There we go. I would also, and I hope that this is something that we get to see kind of come to fruition, but I would absolutely love to see the V-Rage engine get a little bit more attention and a little bit more love. And especially with V-Rage 3. I hope that Keen is able and is smart enough to leverage the V-Rage 3 engine as a standalone engine that other companies can then work with. Because it does good stuff. It is really cool. And I would love to see what other companies are capable of doing when they utilize it. I could absolutely see V-Rage 3 being useful. And I mentioned this yesterday. I don't know if I was specifically talking to Kintar about this or something on the stream. But I would absolutely and could absolutely see a game, let's say like Dune Awakening, being done really well in Space Engineers 2 Rage 3. With the voxel deformation that is available in V-Rage 3, seeing and having sandworms move through the ground and deform it in real time like that would be epic. Then you tie into that the work that they're doing with fluids and with the fluid voxel simulation. And all of a sudden you have a really cool way of handling sand. And I would just absolutely really enjoy to see all of those things kind of come together and see. Okay. So I would absolutely just really love to see all of that really come together in a cohesive sort of game. There's so many different ways that the various engines can be utilized. It's going now. Grids, motors. coming back together. Yes. Salvaging that ship actually really helped us out there. It's a lot of extra stuff to work with. Okay, I'm going to take a quick AFK. It's lunchtime, too. But we're getting the cruiser back. That's what I'm happy with. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna take a quick AFK. I might actually take like a short lunch break. So the sandwich, shove it into my mouth, and then I'll worry about swallowing later. Those wandering merchants fly around a lot. And then once I get back, hopefully we will have most of the. Oh, I'll have to find some. But yeah. So, let's do like 20. And do like 20 superconductors. I also need metal grids. Okay, so short AFK, make myself some lunch. When I get back, hopefully we will have most of Cruiser Mark. We have to Mark 4 ton, and I can then see about getting. Hopefully, we can get a freaking shield on it. Hopefully, go from there. So yeah, I am going to be back in just a few. Then see what needs to be done in order to be done. Alrighty, we are back. It's starting to get a little warm out there, so close the windows. It's been nice for the past few days because it's been nice and cool. Most it got up to 73, which is generally what we keep our house at. Thank you. But today it's getting a wee bit warmer, so I think I need I'm the same way. I've actually been really, really happy with the way spring has been so far. It was weird though. March and April were actually incredibly warm months. We were routinely seeing 80 and 90 degree weather. And then all of a sudden, like late April into early May, and we just dropped into really normal spring weather. I was like, what the hell happened? Alright, we are getting low. Low on iron. So, what I need to do is let's connect. There. Should be about normal. Like, OBS is telling me that my volume's where it normally is. There we go. Control. Let's see. I believe there's the silver. I need some. Oh, look, iron right there. And some uranium and some platinum. And some gold. Let's get the iron first. Go. Okay. Iron is directly under us. We should just be able to kind of go down this way. Well, what happened to not mining is having my ship destroyed. Unfortunately, there comes a point where you can only do so much. Yeah, no slave labor. I didn't destroy it. Some other asshole destroyed it. Somebody from Paradox, I think it was. But one of the NPCs just absolutely ripped me apart. There was very little of the ship. I tried to make it back home, but I apparently was going too fast. The parachutes didn't deploy. I cratered into the ground, and then I cratered through the ground, and then continued to fly into the hollow planet. And at that point, there was nothing I could get back. So I said, screw it. I would love to take better care of them. But I figured for the sake of my sanity,
Inventory
actually being
full.
able to continue this playthrough, I'm going to do away with the no mining rule just so that I can actually get some stuff done. That's really what it comes down to. Yes, that is what he meant. Now, I'm not going to make a dedicated mining ship. It's all just going to be hand drilled so that I'm not stuck just getting huge, abundant amount of resources. So I will remain at a deficit that I have to try and make up by piracy. But piracy alone was not getting the job done. That's fair. Actually, do I? No, that's my regular volume. Base. What's that? Yeah, all my volumes should be about the same. Unfortunately, and this is again because of my decision making, there, there's no stealing that ship, and the reason is because that ship had a shield I could not get through. A little less space. I don't know what to tell you. Everything should be about the same. I haven't messed with anything. There we go. It really does seem to be. Okay. Let's head back home. There you go. Yep. Yep. All right. That's rough. Like, that's a hell of a curse right there. Landing on. Okay, I'm not. That is a very powerful gyroscope. go. Awesome. May actually let's get recharged. Yeah, I could use a little bit of recharging. Ooh. Personal favorite. Hope you step on a Lego in the middle of the night. There we go. We're about to go break some eggs. Oh, come on. There we go. Okay. There we go. Some construction components. How am I doing on there? Need nickel. Ooh. Now that's just mean. I think I'd rather start a nuclear war. Trying to remember where that nickel boulder was. Because I know there was one. Is that it? No, that's the silver. That. Something down over there. Kind of afraid to get closer. That would be why I'm afraid to get closer. Oh, nickel. And more nickel. Go to this one. It's right here. One of the stories, speaking of people losing feet, one of the stories my dad was fond of telling as a way of dissuading us from being around explosives or messing around with gunpowder and stuff like that was one of his friends had gotten a hold of, I think it was some sort of explosive powder. I don't remember exactly. That was kind of what I was going for. Swamp boat. But his friend had gotten a hold of some sort of explosive powder or something like that. Was playing around with it and had at some point in time packed it into some sort of small container and had been out back of his house playing around with it, blowing stuff up, being a kid. There goes my frame rate again. The hell? When he had, unfortunately, and apparently according to Dad, packed a little too much gunpowder into, or black powder, or whatever it was, to whatever he was playing with, when it had exploded. And according to my dad, who I think was being incredibly hyperbolic about all of this, it took off most of like one side of this kid. And in his half exploded days, he apparently walked into his house, walked up to his mother who was in the kitchen, said, "I'm sorry," and then keeled over and died. Now, of course, when you're being told this as a child, there is a certain level of trauma that goes with it, which I think is the point and the moral of the story. It's not the story itself, it's the traumatic scar it leaves on your psyche so that you don't do dumb shit when you're older. So it's one of those that, like I said, I have a feeling that it was exaggerated to a point, as most fathers are wont to do, to ensure that their spawn continues to survive. But there were a lot of stories that we didn't find out were exactly. There were a lot of things we didn't find out about Dad until much later in life as well. There's a lot of stuff we didn't find out about him until after he passed away, which is again winds up happening. It is amazing what he got up to. I remember one of my teachers in high school was talking about his own father and had said that his father was a Rolling Stone. Not like the band member, but as far as the saying goes, I'm a Rolling Stone. I never stay in one place for long, kind of thing. Most likely what the band is named after. And so, in that respect, that's kind of how my dad was. It was weird. He could stay in front of his computer for hours, but then periodically he had to go walk about. And he tended to go walk about to other women, which was, it's a thing. But it definitely makes you appreciate the type of people that your parents are when you learn about them as people. Now, we were no stranger to my father's proclivities, because there was one Thanksgiving, actually, it was just before Thanksgiving, it all came out. Man, did it come out in a big way, where he got into a fight on the phone with his, at that point, his submissive. Let's just be polite about this. And it was to such a degree that he's basically screaming at her over the phone because of how pissed off she has gotten him. And it just was partly hilarious, and especially in hindsight. But at the same time, it's like, you do realize you're at home shouting at the person you're having an affair with, right? And that definitely had an impact on the way things worked around the house. Now, looking back on it, it's really easy to make light of it. And being able... Yeah, exactly. Being able to look back on it and laugh is always a good thing. I think we should always be capable of, in one way, shape, or form, able to look at the painful moments of our life and try and find a way to laugh about them. Because if we don't, they just continue to hurt and they never get better. I need large steel tubes. Or that. What are we doing on... Gonna need to make some... Going to need to make some... I know, right? It explains so much. Because it also was a better understanding, and as I've gotten older, it has helped me to better understand myself. You should. That's a dangerous thing. I don't think anybody really wants to get to know Kintar better. Otherwise, the apocalypse will start. Let's go. There's a logistics post over there. Military barracks and the logistics post. But yes, the behaviors of our parents help inform who we are as people as we get older. Is a strange and painful reality. That's true. Every day. Oh, we're all going to blow up. If you don't eat this, we're all going to die. Where did I leave that hole? There it is. Okay, let's grab some more iron. At the end of the day, he's probably busy. But at the end of the day,
Inventory full.
best thing we can do is try and become better people. Doesn't always work out. But as long as you're trying to become a better person, I think that's really kind of the crux of it. Oh, let's get some more of this. I wonder. I bet I know what part of my problem is. I have, and I am in desperate need of this. So help me God, I will hide underground. Let's see. I will just turn that off so that it doesn't get seen. There we go. Is that a little bit better? Let's turn the microphone towards my mouth. But I think part of the problem that I have and why Space Engineers is suffering from it is because of the fact that my main hard drive is so little that I have had to move certain. Okay, so that's probably what it was. I have had to move certain things around in order to get it all to work without filling up my main drive. So, as such, I think what's happening is that the. Okay, that's good. That's probably what it was, is it just kept dropping off since it wasn't getting direct feedback from my voice. But anyway, one of the biggest things that I've had to deal with, of course, is that. Ooh. I need to check on something. Let's take a look here. I just realized. Yeah, a new headset. God, I wouldn't mind. Like, there's just a ton of new stuff that I would like to get. So, not bomb, Tom. NVMe. Let's check. Let's check to see what 2 terabyte NVMe is going for. Let's see. Oh wow. Well, that's a. I said 2 terabyte and up. So what does it give me? 1 terabyte and up. Yeah, I think headsets. Swapping out headsets every few years is not a bad idea. Okay, so let's do 1 terabyte. Okay, that's not too bad. So a new 1 terabyte M.2 NVMe, you're looking at about $53, and that's not including like shipping and handling and all that crap. Something to keep in mind. I am, however, looking to do the. Oh, yeah. That's not going to help at all. Because all of this is. The antenna. And of course. Fair. Gotta watch out for that. Hmm. Okay. Now here's a fun one. How do I turn that back on? Oh. Okay, it's back. Let's see. And okay. Well, here's a problem. You shut off the power grid on this, and it legitimately now just is bricked. I can't get anything else on it to come on. RC radio. This is quite the pickle. I don't know how to get this to turn back on. Space engineers. Okay. I don't know if this counts as a crash or not. Because it there we go. Aha. I don't know how I did it, but I did it. Let's get back. I know, very lucky. Well, I mean, that's generally how I've learned about most of the tech stuff that I know. It's also why I do fairly well at fixing stuff. That's because I'm not afraid to push buttons. I'm like, oh well, I'll just push this and fix whatever happens afterwards. Kind of the best way to handle it. back it up. There we go. Something like that. Yeah. Yeah, that's what we'll call that. All right. Need more construction components. And man, what do you need? Motors. Okay. Then if I can go ahead and I can get that fixed. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. We almost have our Prototech thruster back. I just need a Prototech cooling unit and 3 of the propulsion units. I'm pretty sure this has cooling unit, but it doesn't have the propulsion unit, unfortunately. So I almost I almost have our Prototech thruster back. I just need some of the components for it. I mean, I'm not against bribes either. Let's see. Projector. Base projector. Blocks remaining. So we are at 2804 of 2810. So just 6 more blocks, and this is basically finished. Mostly motors. Yep, no worries. I would love to be able to throw extra missiles on here at some point. Some more construction. But now, in all fairness, missiles aren't my biggest problem. My biggest problem is that I'm just not capable of surviving the damage output. And I'm definitely not capable of going toe-to-toe with things that have shields. That's what keeps kicking my ass. Or it's, I should say, one of the things that kicks my ass. Alright, let's take control. You out of the way. There we go. And you know, that's okay. In all fairness, I don't know the AI. Like, I don't know how to do the AI stuff. with drones and whatnot. I've never messed with them outside of one time where I was trying to make a welding flyer to go through my tunnel to weld up the floor. But it wouldn't work because it wouldn't go through the tunnel. And I'm sure they do. But the biggest problem that I'm facing right now is that I still can't afford to be doing that sort of stuff because I can barely afford to keep this ship active. So I will be happy when I can finally take something down. I will be happy when I can finally tackle that base that put us in this deficit to begin with. Yeah, no, I don't doubt that. Why are you guys on? You shouldn't be on. Lighter thrusters. You're all okay. All those are off. And more motors. Jesus. Oh, and construction components. Need motors. Motors. Yeah. A lot has changed over the years, that's for certain. Okay. More motors. Probably need steel tubes. Well, I have those. So it's probably whoops. I wish it would tell me in this list what parts are missing. Probably still motors. So many motors. Oh, Jesus. What do we have time with this? Okay. Mostly just got to wait for this to get finished. But that makes me wonder. Okay, I need what do I need for those? Probably some field emitters. that off for now. That's the projector. Okay. Gravity and then 50 field emitters. Okay. One gravity. And those. Okay. I think, have enough gold. No, I don't have enough gold. But God bless it. Need more gold. And what's the other thing I need? What do you need? 3 fields. So 53 total. There. Why? Oh, it doesn't have the... Yeah, that's fine. Let's make sure that our projector has the correct projector. I don't know what it just did, but it did a whole lot of it. And that makes me a little bit worried. Projector. I should have seen that coming. Where's your projector? There we go. Blueprints. Mark 4. Get the feeling. It did. Oh, those don't go in there. Oh, crikey. And there. I can deal with the rest. Because I'm fairly certain there's nothing else that is a major obstacle. Okay, got all that. We should be mostly complete with the exception of that. What else is not finished? Some thrusters. The railgun. The railgun still need... Oh, 10 power cells. Oh yeah, that's easy. That's... whatever. Let's just make sure we get a little bit extra of everything. then that we still have some thrusters that are not complete. Which those are good. Oh no. Oh no. I bet I know which thrusters it did too. The ones that it hasn't completed yet. So originally, where the wings are, there were some thrusters. Gotta kind of clean this out. Yeah, because it added back some of this stuff. That's fine over there. Can almost make it in there. I'm gonna have to. That's fine. Okay, let's also clear out this side. Because I can always put this stuff back. Like, once I get the blueprint turned or the projector turned back on, it'll kick everything back on and we'll be happy. Oops. Let's see. I think we should be. No, what thrusters are not complete? Oh, I see. Motors still. Motors. Okay. Let's turn back on. Let's turn back on. Everything gets repaired back to the way that it was supposed to be. Biggest pain in the ass ever. That's. Oh, God. I'm so tired of dealing with this thing. Oh, and then that's incorrect. Interesting, but wrong. There we go. Let's also go ahead and well, every once in a while I have my moments. That's locked. I have done engineering, I've done architectural design, I've done 3D design. Yeah. I've done a lot of stuff, honestly. I learned AutoCAD in middle school, actually. It was there was a teacher that I had that was big into teaching us like computer and communication skills, which of course for me the computer part was pretty easy. What was really cool though is that at the time Babylon 5 was one of the shows that had, or that utilized CGI the most. And he had gotten his hands on one of the machines that they used for doing some of the editing work. And so he was able to bring that in, and we were able to mess around with it and learn how to use it, which was really cool. I don't have any oxygen. Also, my batteries are not all fully built, so I'm going to have to do that. And let's do... of those. Control. And let's go get some gold. Oh God. I just want to blow this up. That's really what I want to do, is just blow up the cruiser. Like, here's a whole bunch of warheads. We're done. Once I get the cruiser put together, though, and it's complete and it's finished and we're ready to use it, what I would like to do is use it to start collecting materials necessary to build a large grid ship. Because absolutely to build something bigger and beefier and meaner. Start destroying bases with it. Call it the SS Fuck You. That'll be the name of the ship. Nobody cares about your stupid signal. Get more gold. Take that back. I will say, after this past weekend and getting to play a lot of Dune Awakening, I know, right? But getting to play a lot of Dune Awakening, I find myself thinking about it quite a bit now that the beta's over. And definitely it is on my list of games that I really want to get. And I am actually and actively looking forward to its release to see not only all of the rest of the gameplay elements and everything else that they add into it, but also to see what the long-term plan is. Dune Awakening. It's that new Dune game that Funcom is working on. I was playing a bit of it yesterday. But I really... Yeah, the game from yesterday. I'm really excited for it, and I haven't been excited for a Funcom game in a long time. And more specifically, I'm excited for it because of the fact that it feels like it's the right sort of game for me. Which doesn't happen super often these days. All right, that should be good. Let's get this back. And oh yeah, ice lake plucker is definitely in my way. It backwards. Should also maybe throw on another connector or something. Oh, whoops. Go. Sleep. And there we go. I love being able to remote control ships and actually have it be useful. Production. I need more silicon, more nickel, most likely. And let's see. No, I should have everything. I mean, more iron, yes, but why was I not making that stuff? Who knows? Who knows anymore? Oh yeah. Let's finish filling all that up. Awesome. Okay, what are we still working on here? Looks like all of my thrusters are done. Except for the Prototech one. Shield control and shield emitter are still being worked on. Everything else looks to be prepped and ready. So once the shield stuff gets done, basically good to go. I'm just a little bit worried. Check. Should be 2 layers of projection. There we go. That's all set. Oh. Railgun is done. Cool. So, I need to go also get some more uranium. I need to get some more iron. Oh, yeah. Just so much more stuff. Such a pain in the ass. But we are just about there. What are you waiting on now? Oh, okay. You're making the. All right. Nope. Need more gold. Not too much more gold, but I definitely need some more. What about platinum? I need more platinum. Okay. Gosh darn it. I think I'm actually going to wrap this one up a little bit early. We've got so much more to go. I was hopeful that we would actually be a little bit farther than we are right now. But of course, my ability to plan for the future sucks. Plus, we've had some weird stuff happening anyway. Some weird shenanigans. So, yeah, I don't know. Still dropping frames somewhere. I'm not sure where. Anyway, though, we are going to wrap this one up for today. Tomorrow, I will hopefully have everything else finished up. And we can go ahead and start pretty much right away with seeing if we can get ourselves blown up again. Which probably going to happen. But I think we are going to see about sort of transitioning towards different styles of gameplay for this if we lose the ship again. I'm going to try not to get it blown up, but if it does get blown up again, I'm just going to, all right, screw it. We got to figure something else out. Also, yesterday I was talking about multiplayer, starting up a server for a month. I was looking at that, and I should be able to do it comfortably. I'm looking at about a 20-person server, which should be more than enough. We don't exactly have the largest of communities here, but that should accommodate the subscribers, plus various other people who are generally big contributors to the community as such. And as far as the sort of theme or scenario, definitely looking at the at potentially running Suffer Day, but also going for a more rover-based playthrough, which is something that I've wanted to do for a while, and just, maybe keep it on a planet, maybe do a modded planet or something like that. Yeah, absolutely, Matt. But right now, still in the planning stages. I'm still waiting to get paid. So until I do, we'll wait and see. Other than that, though, that is going to be it for today. As always, thank you all for joining me in these misadventures. So glad to have you guys along for the ride. You will have a wonderful day. Stay out of trouble. And remember, if you get caught, I don't know you. I will catch you guys tomorrow.